welcome to Kolkata, back again in Kolkata.
Thank
How does
you.
it feel to be here in Kolkata again?
It's great, but the city continually changes. I guess I've been here, over the last 20 years. So I got to say, just like I say in New York, that I do miss the old Calcutta. But the new Calcutta is extremely wonderful, and I'm having a great time. And there was a wonderful performance tonight. I'm looking forward to readings. Thank you. Yeah, it's great in Calcutta.
Sorry, one important aspect about your integral part of your poetry is performance.
Yes.
And the oral tradition. It's the
Right.
root of your work.
Yes.
So if you could elaborate on that.
Yes. Well, I don't know. My grandparents on my father's side came from Ukraine, from that kind of Russia and Ukraine, where the futurist poets like Mayakovsky were, where there's a tradition of poets being, dramatic and holding a whole football stadium. And my maternal grandparents were coal miners in Kentucky. And they were the Appalachians who sat on the porch and played the banjos and played the fiddle and made up songs and kept those traditions on. So I'm a mongrel mix, just like many Americans are. And I don't know if it's inside me, but I always thought that if I failed as a poet, I could always be an actor. And of course, that's a crazy idea. I mean, failing as an actor is as easy as anything. But it's those two. I don't see any difference between what I do as a poet and the way that I am when I'm acting, except that the character that I am as a poet is me. Believe it.
How do you see the spoken word movement right now in the world? Where do you see the whole contemporary scene?
The spoken word movement right now is moving digitally. There's if anybody's want to hook up their computer to Button Poetry, Button Poetry, you will see the new poets of the United States in their little 3-minute slots, because that's what a poetry slam does. Poetry slam is like a mushaira, except that it's got a competitive edge to it, being very American, but also the irony. Thank you, and that now is a movement that is larger outside of the United States than in the United States. But the biggest part of spoken word poetry is hip hop. Hip hop is nothing but poetry, nothing but spoken word with music accompaniment, music backup, and it's a situation now where hip hop is a genre of poetry that is bigger than poetry. So in order to understand that, you've got to be a poet.
So AI is a buzzword right now, and there is a lot of speculation about AI. What's your thought on AI?
AI, well, you saw the film I made called Beside Myself. And I think that AI is something that is beside yourself. Usually you say, I was beside myself with laughter. But you can be beside yourself in many ways. But to understand the interrelationship between this kind of what seems like thinking, it seems like human, but it's all based on all the information from everyone. And the important thing here is everyone. Everyone is people. And so all that information comes from us. And what we need to do is keep the neural pathways open for each other. And the oral tradition must be alive and live. Like I'm talking to you now, even though I'm talking to you through a screen, I'm talking to you. I'm listening.
Sir, we are living in a crazy world, a lot of negativity all around, a lot of things happening around the world. Do you think the poets has a responsibility to be vocal about the issues happening in the world?
I don't think poets have any responsibility. You know, poets have responsibility to poetry. You know, there are, you know, like my poem, We Are the Dinosaur, is completely about climate change, and it's I'm a political activist. But the important thing with poetry is that we're not all alike. And, you know, I happen to have the skills to be able to do performance. I also have the skills where I can start a poetry club. The only skill you need to be a poet is to write a poem. And the only responsibility you have is to make that poem yours, and it's a living, breathing piece of art. Poems are made out of words, not emotions or activism. That's for certain people. My teacher, Allen Ginsberg, was a great model for having activist poetry. But is it a requirement? Please, the important thing about poetry is no requirements. If you want to use a sonnet form, be my guest. A couplet, hip hop, whatever you wish to use, that's fine. I'll sit down with you at the Mushaira and go, wow, wow.
And the last question, a lot of youngsters are watching this. If they want to pursue journey into not only poetry, any creative performing arts, your word of advice for?
Do it, that's all. And the first audience is you. So the thing is, don't look for that audience outside of you, look for that audience inside of you.
Thank you so much.